So welcome everyone. My name is Kathleen Stack. I am the Global Staff Liaison with the Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors.
If you want, you can bring your chair here.
Joining us from HGAR is our CEO, Richard Haggerty, and one of our global co-chairs, Tony Danzica. We also have Pedro Piera, who is the CEO of Portugal International Realty. He is essentially our host for the trade mission, and I'm going to do just a.
Is there any way you can
Louise?
get off one fob and one key?
Oh, can everyone put themselves on mute?
I know. Okay. All right.
So what I'm thinking is just give them one fob.
No, seriously.
And then putting the
Can
other.
everyone put
Absolutely.
themselves on mute?
I mean, you
Put everything in the room
oh
except
my
for one
god,
fob.
oh
and one
my
key.
god,
That's
oh.
right. And then have her.
Kathleen, are we able to just put everybody on mute?
Yeah.
From our end?
Hold on.
Can
Can everyone get on mute? Sorry. Thank you. So welcome again. The purpose of today's meeting is to, oh my goodness. Who is not on mute? Okay, I think we're good now. Is to discuss the
that's
trade
correct.
mission. Ooh, every time I talk, something happens.
Kathleen, do you want to make me co-host and I'll monitor that for you?
Yeah, hold on a second. No, what?
SOCAR, that's all coming from.
Sokar, can you
Sokar,
mute, please?
Oh, there she goes.
Okay, thank you. So I wanted to discuss why we're having a trade mission. HGR has partnered with the Portugal International Realty in Portugal through the National Association of Realtors Ambassador Association program. Very shortly, we're going to hear from Pedro Piera, CEO of PIR, who is our main contact with our Ambassador Association. We do this in incorporation with the National Association of Realtors and the HGR Global Business Council. So the mission of the Ambassador Program is to work together with our bilateral partners to share best practices, ideas, solutions, and common problems. HGR was awarded the 2021 Ambassador Association of the Year Award at the NAR Realtors Conference in San Diego, 2021. And last year, through our efforts and those of Pedro Piera, we had a virtual trade mission. We were supposed to have this last year in person, but of course with COVID, we had it virtually, and it was very, very well done. And this year we're excited to announce that we're doing this in person. The dates are June 26th through July 1. I have information sheets about the trade mission, but essentially it's going to be information about the Portugal real estate market. We're going to be doing tours of Lisbon, Estoril, Sintra, and Porto, and doing some property tours, attending an expo and networking, and of course, getting to know the cities, the best practices, and so on with our partners. This is a fact sheet, and I will send it to anybody who has participated in today's session, but it starts on, everybody arrives on Sunday, June 26th. And then we'll start with the program on Monday, but I'm going to let Pedro essentially take it from here. So I'm going to stop my screen share and let Pedro.
No, we can, Kathleen,
or do you want me to go through them?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
explain a little bit on every daily agenda. Yeah.
Okay, fabulous. So Pedro, I'll let you take it away.
Okay. First of all, I have to thank you, Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors, for making this happen. It's really a pleasure to be here today, and this is my second time today speaking to real estate agents from the US. Today I was with a small group of real estate agents from Florida that were here in Lisbon trying to do the same as yourselves are planning to do. So first of all, I have a, something I want to share with you all. Portugal has around 10% of international buyers. The real estate market in Portugal does not depend on international buyers, as you can see from this figure. Mainly it's a domestic market, but those 10% are really important for the country and for the market itself. But most important is the changes that we have noticed in recent time. Mainly in the last year or so, there has been a great change from countries of origin when buying in Portugal. Mainly, we had on the top tier ranking, we had European countries and Brazil. And from the European countries, we had a long relationship with the UK and a recent one with France. Those were, until last year, the major country of origin of international buyers. But the big change I am glad to share with you this on the first hand is that the number one country of origin is now the US precisely. 14% of all transactions in the country are made by Americans. And for us, probably that we are connected for 3 years now, we have shared many informations about countries. It's great benefits that offer to investors and people wanting to live here. So it's not a surprise because one day it would happen. It was sooner than I would ever expected. So I think this is the right time to do a trade mission exactly. We have direct flights from the US. We are the Europe's first neighbor to the US, the closest one. So I'm very glad to be able to organize this with Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors. But now I'll try to explain a little bit what we are planning to do on the first day. So we'll start Monday. It's a full week, as you can see. It's a 5 days full week. On the Monday, we'll gather at our hotel with several speakers from some different institutions like APMIP, the National Association of Realtors, as we could say here in Portugal. PEER is also be there, and we are also counting on a legal company to be there to explain the golden visa. And we want to give you an highlight about the real estate market in Portugal. The volume, the number of transactions, the market shares for international buyers, the average price, the type of product that is going to the market, how is the market today, tendencies. We want to give you all the information we can so you can understand and take the better you can take from this trip afterwards. We then will have lunch with other ERMs, International Realtor members, that we have already in Portugal. There are more than 100. Some of them will join us for lunch. So it's like a networking. We'll try to make from every moment an opportunity to network with you. So when the time is right, we'll have the proper contacts here so you can do business together. In the afternoon, we'll give you a view about Lisbon. We would be very happy to show you Gulbenkian Foundation is like a cultural icon in Portugal. It was made possible by an Armenian donor that gave his whole fortune to, not to Portugal, but to this foundation, and there is a art gallery, a music, all very important, but it's closed on Monday. So we'll have the chance to see the garden, and is one of the best gardens in Lisbon. After that, we'll give you a tour about ancient Lisbon. We'll start with the most boulevard, let's say, area. It's like Avenida da Liberdade, the central district area. Then we'll go to the historical side and know those ancient neighborhoods that you can think, well, they are touristic, but in fact, they have very interesting developments, and they host many palaces that have been rebuilt, and they are on the market, and some they are there, so you can see, and we'll explain you all of that. We'll end this afternoon with an happy hour before dinner at a traditional place to have dinner and listen to Fado, the national music of Portugal. And that will be the first day, where we will have the chance also to meet some of Portugal CIPS community that will also attend the afternoon and the dinner. The second day will give you a different side of Lisbon, the modern one. We'll tour some of the neighborhoods that are more business, and beside business, they have residential developments and places to live. And we'll go to one of the modern areas of the town that was made possible due to the international exhibition in 1998. So you'll see the state of the art there, oceanarium, cultural centers, just by the river. And that is important because it's one of the most desired areas for international buyers due to the exposition and the Feng Shui theory. Many Chinese like to buy there. We'll, on this trade mission, we also, besides Lisbon and the major urban area, we want you to show you the other side of the area. I want to invite you to cross the river on the most with the crossing the bridge with the longest extension in Europe, 22 kilometers over the river, and we'll get to the South Bay of Lisbon, and we'll have the opportunity to see a development there, very interesting for international buyers, and there's also an interesting community there. And we want you to give you the chance to see one of private condominiums with 2 golf courses and just 10 minutes from beach. It's called the Rueira. And afterward, I think it's the best way to end the second day is to have a dinner exactly on the beach. And you can imagine that 15 minutes later, we'll be at your hotel in the Lisbon center. So you'll get the idea how close things are here in Lisbon. On the third day, we'll show you a different side where kings and queens escaped from World War II and lived in Estoril and Cascais. So you can imagine it's probably the most expensive area in this greater Lisbon, and we'll have the chance to see some properties. I don't need to say, you can imagine nice golf courses here, horse riding schools, tennis school, something you will enjoy to see. The best place to have lunch here is the best place for seafood, and it's called Guincho, which you may know because it's on the open sequences of the first 007 movie. It was filmed precisely in Guincho and Estoril because it's said that Ian Fleming, James Bond creator, created the character at Estoril Palace Hotel. We never know, but it's what it's said. In the afternoon, we'll go to Sintra. You can see on my background here, this is Sintra. It's like an enchanted town. And then we'll escort you to Lisbon, where you have your final dinner in town. Because on the next day, we'll be traveling by bus to Porto. We want you to show the second biggest town and city in Portugal. So we are going to Porto, and we'll pass through Bairrada. It's on the high road, but it deserves to go there for two things. Because of the wine, is one of the most interesting wine zones, and because of piglets. We are going to have roasted piglet, and that's a traditional dish, and I'm pretty sure we'll enjoy. 2 hours after, we'll be arriving at Porto, where we are having free time, so you can walk through the city and get the sense of the city by yourself. It's a pretty safe city as it is Lisbon. We'll then have dinner at Porto, and on the last day of this tour, we'll start with a meeting at the town hall of Porto. Besides the impressive building itself, we'll have the chance to meet some of Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors contacts that they have made in Cannes, and they will be happy to welcome to the town hall and have a chat about the real estate market in Porto. We'll then go to the other side, cross one of the oldest bridges in Porto, and go where the Porto wine was created. And since 2 years ago, they have refurbished and reconstructed almost at that area, and it's now very modern. And we'll have a lunch there with a lovely view of Douro River and Porto on the other side of the bank. And we'll end this with the afternoon touring Porto. It's a precious town, and I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy as much as you will enjoy Lisbon. And that's the agenda for this whole week. I hope we can have you here, and besides showing these two towns, I think it's important, and we'll work on that to create contacts and to create confidence and on in the international realtor members that Portugal has now, and be able to provide business opportunities for your buyers. Okay.
And I think, as you can see, I mean, there's a nice balance of learning about the real estate market, being introduced to the process of purchasing real estate, and what the benefits, the consequences are for doing that. So there's a really nice balance of, learning about the market, networking with people, which I think always at the end of the day is one of the most important things we want to do, is to be able to grow our network. Because remember, some of the people that we are going to meet there might refer clients back to us in the United States. So the networking is a real important part. And of course, Pedro did a great job at setting up wonderful lunches and dinners and excursions. So there'll be plenty of time for fun. And of course, as Pedro mentioned, we would be starting first thing Monday morning. So we would want everyone to really arrive in Portugal on Sunday. So to arrive on Sunday so that we can start fresh on Monday morning.
Exactly. Can I've seen a question here. Can I reply to some of the questions, Kathleen and Tony?
Sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. You'll arrive to Lisbon. It's a direct flight from New York City. And you can fly back to the US from Porto. Porto has an international airport, and they have direct flights also to the US. Not many cities, but we fly to Florida. I think it's Orlando, San Francisco, I don't know if the route is already open, but I imagine so, and New York City.
And there is also a train that brings you back down to
Exactly.
Lisbon, which is about 3 hours.
Hours, exactly. It's
Yeah.
an express train.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's up to you, because if you want to extend your stay in Porto, I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy, because it's smaller than Lisbon. It's like a big town, not a big city. It's a big town. You'll get the feeling it's very cozy town. So you can stay there 1 or 2 days to visit around, and we'll give you the indications for that. It's up to you to
The
return
nice thing
to
about
US.
this particular week is, Pedro, we're actually going to be celebrating 4th of July. So we actually have that day off in the United States. So of course, realtors are never off, but, it's a little bit easier to extend your stay into the 4th of July. And of course, arriving on a Sunday, we can easily come in on a Friday or Saturday. So my personal plan is to get there a little bit earlier and leave there a little bit later, so I can spend a little bit more time in Portugal. So I think a lot of people might be interested in doing that as well. I think Catherine de Klerk mentioned if she goes, she might want to do something like that too.
Yeah, we are here to help. You can suggest any previous or afterwards agenda. Regarding the hotels, it's a 5-star hotels. They are not luxury boutique hotels, but they can provide all the comfort and all the safety that you may need. They are central. The one in Lisbon, it's very central, and the one in Porto is not a touristical one. It's central for business, but it's a very small town, so you'll be very well settled there. It's a Sheraton hotel.
And just, Pedro, we'll also be having a tour guide that will be taking us to.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. There, I'll be
we'll-
with you most of the time. Unfortunately, on Tuesday, I have another engagement that I cannot miss in the afternoon. But afterwards, I will join you all the entire week. And besides that, we'll have a tour guide that's with you all the time. And besides that, as I said previously, we are also having some of our ER International Realtor members and CIPS members being there with you and trying to know you, trying to understand your needs, and try to provide the best advice for you in the future opportunities you may have with them.
So Pedro, thank you so much. What are the next steps for anyone who is interested?
Well, I think you had the email on the leaflets that you show, but the first thing, if you want to enroll yourself, you just need to send us an email, and we'll help you doing everything you need. But you just need to send us your details, the time of arrival, and we'll send you back the wire transfer details so you can pay, and we enroll you in this list of persons that will attend this trade mission. So it's pretty easy. You will handle your flight directly, or as we are dealing this with a travel agency here in Portugal, they can provide that service for you. You just need to let them know, or you can let us know, and we'll connect you, and they will provide you the best available flights, and you can book the flights also with them, and you can book this tour, this trade mission with them also. But if you want to enroll yourself, you just need to send an email to. Do you have that email, Kathleen? Do you want to share that email, or do you want me to write
I don't
it down?
have that. I may have missed it. So if you
Okay,
could
no problem.
put it in the chat.
Okay, I'll write it right here. Okay. Okay.
So essentially, it's really all inclusive. There may be 1 or 2 meals that if you've got the afternoon on your own, but essentially all inclusive, and it's just your airfare that you would be responsible for, unless you want to work it out with the travel agency that we're dealing with.
So in that email, if I, for example, said I'm arriving and I'm leaving, 5 days later, and I would like a travel agent to contact me so I could extend my stay an extra night at one hotel or go back to Lisbon and spend another night, I could do that through this email.
Exactly.
Okay. And what would be the deadline for indications of interest?
Do you want me to be honest?
Tomorrow.
The question is, we are with some pressure from the hotels itself, because this is it's not a peak season. That's why the prices are not so high, but it's a pre-peak season, so they have some demand for those dates. We have blocked already some rooms on both hotels, so we are managing that. If you could send us or show your interest in the upcoming week or so, it will be great. But I think, Kathleen, we should set a deadline for these, and I would advise the end of this month, if possible, giving
Sure.
2 weeks time notice.
Okay.
So I think it's easy. We try to make it simple for you, not with many forms and so on. So send us an email and we'll talk with you. We'll get to you and try to provide you the solutions you may need, including flights or just the trade mission itself.
Pedro, one question that a few people have asked me. What is the policy from Portugal in terms of vaccinations? Are you required to have proof of vaccination or just a negative COVID test?
If you are fully vaccinated, you don't need, and when we say fully vaccinated, I think we are meaning 2 doses. If you have 2 doses of the vaccine, you don't need to show anything besides the vaccination proof. If you have not vaccinated, you'll need a PCR with 72 hours prior to the embarking hour or departure time of the flight. I'm pretty sure that's the now restrictions, but we never know. These things can change.
And the US requires a negative PCR test still to get back into the country, correct? Within 24 hours.
That's my understanding, unless that's changed. That was the case, as you know, Kathleen, when we came back from MIPIM.
I think that's still the case, but I'll check.
Well, in Portugal, I think 98% of the population is fully vaccinated so far. So vaccination is not a problem, but now we never know. So something can happen.
When we were at the MIPIM conference in France, it was very easy to walk into any pharmacy and we could get a PCR COVID test. Is it easy to get the test in Portugal?
Yeah, it's very easy. On pharmacies and major cities like Porto and Lisbon, they have outside infrastructures that you just have to walk through, get your PCR, and some hours later they will send you an email with the result, and it's pretty easy. Portugal has really been working on those questions, and it's very easy to make a PCR nowadays. Actually, last week the government ended the gratuity of those tests because everyone is vaccinated and it's very easy now, not that easy. It was some months ago, so it's pretty easy now.
Okay, and one of the questions asked for the contact information of the travel agent. So the email that you sent to us, the email address that's in the chat, is that would be the person that we would contact in order to make the arrangements.
Yeah.
And they'll collect our information, and then we would be able to make a payment to them we could use a credit card.
Let me explain it. I think it's better if the people that want to join this trade mission contact Portugal International Realty first. And we'll try to collect all the information that one requires regarding the flight departures, and then we'll pass that to the travel agency, and they will try to give them the best available flights if they need flights. If they don't need flights, we'll collect the same data, and then we'll send the wire transfer details from the travel agency. And they can make the wire transfer to them, and we'll give them all the information that they need, the vouchers for the hotel. There's no transfers from the hotel, so they have to take your transfer to the hotel, but we'll send them afterwards everything they need to know. What time do they need to be on the first day, where, and we'll be there to assist them.
One of our members asked if there was a lady that wanted to share a room. So if anybody is interested, please let me know and I will hook you up with the person who inquired. Because there's a single room rate and a double room rate.
Exactly.
I'm not sure.
Does it have to be a wire transfer or it can be credit card?
Let me check this because yeah, if it's with a credit card, they will require 2% commission, but it can be made with a credit card.
I have a question.
Please.
Since we're all going to be arriving on different flights, is there accommodations for transportation from the airport to the hotel we'll be staying at, or should we make those arrangements as well?
No, it's pretty easy. If when you exit the airport, you have 3 options. You can take the subway. It's right on the airport, and we'll give you the indications if you want to. You can take a formal taxi. It's just outside. It's very easy. Or you can call a Uber or something. Those platforms, they have an area on the first level of the airport that you can enter the car there. It's pretty easy. It should be no more than 15 euros from the airport to the hotel.
Okay, and then will you guys send out the name of the hotel that we're supposed to meet at and everything? Okay.
Yeah, sure. It's Iberostar. If you want to see, it's Iberostar Lisbon. It's the one in Lisbon, and Sheraton Porto, the one in Porto. And it's pretty easy. But the one you need to go, it's only in Lisbon. The other one will take you there on the bus.
Is there any chance you can write the name of it in the chat?
Sure, of course.
Thank you.
Yes, and what we're going to do is also, we'll beef up the agenda with some more information, so everybody will have more information of everything that we're going to do and the locations of the hotel and contact phone numbers. And maybe what we could even do, Kathleen, is, we could set up a group chat so that when we're there, we could communicate with each other.
Sure. And I'll put my contact information here, and anybody who was on the call and doesn't have the fact sheet that I showed, I will email it to you, and then I will be beefing it up, as Tony said, with additional information. But this is my email, and I have all your emails because you registered for this Zoom. So I'll send you the recording and also the fact sheet. Any additional questions?
I'll just do a plug. I've been to all those places and they are gorgeous, and I cannot recommend this trip enough because it's very, very worthwhile. It's just a gorgeous country.
We're really excited, and we've worked so well with you, Pedro, that we're expecting great things, and I think we're gonna have a great.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a lot of great connections. I know some of you on this call right now, and I know some of you have been to trade missions, and you know they can be really special and a great way to build your network. And I think that's what we all want to do.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I know, as I said previously, I was with some people from Florida today, and I knew one of them for 3 years now, but I never met her in person. So it was the first time. So when we met, it was interesting because we finally managed to be in person with each other. I know Richard in person, but not Tony and Kathleen. But besides the fact of knowing each other, I think, as Richard said, Portugal is probably an hidden gem, and it's the right time to visit the country and discover the business opportunities. Because besides, as I said today, and I'm not going to extend much more, but I think the safety of the country, the health insurance system, and the fact that there's no difference if you are a national citizen or an outside citizen, you are entitled to public health care system and private healthcare system. The infrastructures, as Tony said, you can 3 hours drive to Porto and probably 2.5 hours on train, direct flights from the US. And I think we'll be surprised for the low cost of life here. Probably you'll notice that on the night fare for the hotels, breakfast is included, not as the US is used to. And you will understand how much is the cost of a coffee or a breakfast outside the hotel and the meal outside the hotel. So you can imagine Portugal, they can save a lot from their pensions, from their salaries, living here. And I don't need to enter on the fiscal team because we'll have a lawyer with you to explain all the opportunities on that side also.
We do have one more question. It says if we have someone accompany us, what would their cost fee be?
I didn't get the question, Tony. Sorry.
If we have someone accompany us, what would their cost be if we shared a room? That would be the double occupancy rate?
Yeah,
wasn't
exactly.
it 1,700 euros, 17 and change versus
Exactly.
21 and change?
Exactly.
And those prices are the total cost for the trip outside of the airfare?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Including meals, the hotel stay, the guides, the bus, all those expenses, and I mean all the meals that we have showed you previously, and all the tours, the entrance to one national monument, and all the property tours included, of course.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
I put the hotels and the rates in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pedro.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thanks, Pedro.
If anybody has any additional questions, they can just email me or indicate your interest at that email provided. Thank you so much.
Great. And Kathleen, your email address is in the chat? Oh, yeah,
Mine
that-
is in the chat. Kathleen.stack@hjr.com.
Great. And we'll post this, we could post this online. We'll post more information on Facebook as well, and we'll update everybody by email. And we have until May 31st to just commit.
Please.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pedro. Thanks.
Thank
Tony.
you. My
Thanks,
pleasure.
Have a good
Kathleen.
weekend, everybody.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Very exciting.
You too. Thank you.